Stops to throw. Here comes pressure. Escape. Fires over the middle, and it is incomplete.
You feel like you get your heart ripped out. So, but I'm proud of that group, and I'll go anywhere with that group. And you wish you could keep it all together, but that's not the reality. So, we did some really good things, but today we didn't do enough, and it's tough. It's questions.
Dan, you had 2 fourth down decisions that were critical in the second half, and neither one was.
They were what?
2 fourth down decisions that were critical in the second half. Neither one was converted.
Yeah.
Particularly the second one. Why not take a field goal there and maybe stem the bleeding a little bit?
Yeah, I just felt really good about us converting and getting our momentum and not letting them play long ball. They were bleeding the clock out. That's what they do. And I wanted to get the upper hand back. And it's easy hindsight, and I get it, I get that. But I don't regret those decisions, and that's hard. It's hard because, we didn't come through. It wasn't able to work out, but I don't. And I understand the scrutiny I'll get. That's part of the gig, man. But, we just didn't work out.
Dan, how do you process what happened in the second half? Some of the self-inflicted mistakes, I guess, that didn't seem to, come up much of the year for you.
Yeah. It's been very uncharacteristic of us. We've always been able to get our momentum back, and it's hard to say. I honestly right now I can't put my finger on that. That's not like us. We had plays to be made that we just didn't make. We normally do, and some of the things third quarter that we came out, I thought we did a really good job defensively. Man, held them to 3, and they got the ball back, moved it, but we just couldn't quite make those plays. And so third quarter, we've been there before, and so fourth quarter you feel like we're going to get it back, and we just couldn't quite get over the hump, and and that hasn't been us all year, and it showed up today at the worst time.
Dan, you did a lot of good things in the first half of this game. You got this far. I don't know if a lot of people picked you to come to the NFC title game, but disappointing end. But what do you learn from this experience? I'm sure you hope to get back here. You expect to get back here. But what do you learn from this experience of making it this far to this game?
Well, I think one of the things you always tell everybody who's never been here, and particularly the young players, is you don't know which play is going to make the difference, which one. You say that every game, but when you get in there with a heavyweight like San Fran, man, it is the difference. And sometimes you can only say so much. You got to live it, unfortunately. You got to get your heart ripped out, which we did. And it's a lesson learned. And look, I told those guys, this may have been our only shot. Do I think that? No. Do I believe that? No. However, I know how hard it is to get here. I'm well aware. And it's going to be twice as hard to get back to this point next year than it was this year. That's the reality. And if we don't have the same hunger and the same work, which is a whole nother thing, once we get the offseason, then we got no shot of getting back here. I don't care how much better we get or what we add or what we drive. It's irrelevant. It's going to be tough. Everybody in our division is going to be loaded back up, and, you're not hiding from anybody anymore. Everybody's going to want a piece of you, and which is fine, which is fine. But so it's hard. You want to make the most of every opportunity, and we had an opportunity, and we just couldn't close it out. It stings. It stings.
Dan, to go from that high of the 24-7 halftime lead to how it ended, what is your locker room like right now? I'm sure you weren't celebrating at halftime, but you obviously were feeling very good. The level of crushing, I guess, for your players?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Yeah, nobody's happy. They're very disappointed. It's disappointing, and I think I said it pretty pretty vividly. It's like getting your heart ripped out, and it's hard. You know, it's hard. And no, we didn't come in at halftime. We were doing backflips like, all right, we got this thing won. They know better. We all know better. We talked about it. We knew they were going to make a run in the second half. We talked about it. We knew we were going to have to weather a storm in the second half. And so when they started to make a push, we weren't surprised. We just couldn't counter back. And we've always been able to counter back. We just couldn't quite do it in this one.